Okay, folks, so Anthony Mackie just said probably one of the dumbest things I think I've ever heard, but it's not all his fault. I'm going to tell you about this way that Hollywood actors think that sometimes causes them to say some of the stupidest things you'll ever hear. But first, welcome to Christosophy, the show where we talk about relevant topics and shine light into the darkest of places and spaces. This episode here will be no different. First of all, hit the like button, subscribe, click the bell. It's the best way to support the channel. And let's dive into this. So, Mr. Mackie was on tour. He was in Rome, I believe on the 27th, promoting the new Captain America movie, right? It comes out in a couple of weeks, I believe the weekend of Valentine's Day. Anthony Mackie, I'm paraphrasing, I'll put the whole quote here. He says that Captain America represents a lot of things, and America shouldn't be one of those representations. Shouldn't. Not doesn't have to be or isn't necessarily. No, he says it shouldn't. And obviously, first of all, this is very telling about Mackie's politics. You can see that he doesn't associate America with all of those nice ideals. He goes on to say things like integrity and honesty. That's what he thinks Captain America represents. When there was a time where most Americans believed that those ideals were represented with the word America. And when you wore that shield, it represented freedom all around the world, right? So you see there's a disconnect, a disassociation with America and those ideals for him. But he clearly didn't think this through. I mean, the majority of people, I'm just going to guess, who are going to see this movie, right, are probably guys who lean right? They're going to see an action movie, superhero movie with a male lead, right? Not Captain Marvel or anything. They're probably thinking this is a brave new world for Marvel, hopefully getting back to what made them so great in the past. And then he went and said something like this. And you know it got Disney shook because Anthony Mackie made some clarifying statements just the next day, January 28th. He says, and again, I'm paraphrasing, I'll put the whole quote there. He says, I'm proud to be an American. I just think that Captain America has some qualities that everyone can relate to. Now, to his credit, he was in Rome, so he was probably doing as the Romans do. He was probably trying to appeal and show Captain America, the movie, and its appeal for a global audience, which was very smart. But he just went about it in such a bad way that it could likely have alienated a lot of his audience. And this is where I'm going to tell you about this way that Hollywood actors think, and actors in general think, that causes them to do things like this. I've been in this world, right? So actors, they always want to kind of make a role their own, right? They want to add something to it. They want to contribute something to it. This kind of embodies even the entire concept of this new Captain America. I think even in the trailer, they say, yeah, you're Captain America, but you're not Steve Rogers. And so, it's a very big challenge for Anthony Mackie as an actor to not just look like he's trying to replace Henry Cavill as Superman or Hugh Jackman as Wolverine or Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, making the role his own while still coming off as authentic. And so I think he was trying to reshape and redefine the character. But to basically say that Captain America does not represent all the best qualities of America that everybody around the world can relate to was just a really, really bad step. And plus, unlike all those actors that I just mentioned, nobody cares about Anthony Mackie playing Captain America. Like most of the superhero roles, people are going to the movie to see the superhero. They're not like, let's go see Captain Anthony Mackie, right? They don't care. People like Robert Downey Jr., in my opinion, Henry Cavill, right? People like Hugh Jackman. I mean, it took something different in years of playing a certain character for them to start to embody the character. And this was when, enough time had passed, certainly for people like Henry Cavill. For Iron Man, it was the first time he was really portrayed. For Hugh Jackman, it was the first time he was really portrayed in a modern superhero movie. And so they didn't have any shoes to fill. For Anthony Mackie, he's in, again, a really tough situation because he's trying to redefine a role while the definitive version of that character played by Chris Evans is still fresh in everyone's minds and still canon to the universe that he's even in. And so, honestly, I don't know if there are any ways to win for him, but he certainly didn't win any points with that really, really dumb quote. So hopefully it doesn't affect the box office too much. But if his statement is any kind of indication of what the creators as a whole are thinking for this movie, this movie's not going to do well. And I think it's going to face a lot of the same backlash that a lot of the new properties and a lot of the new titles are facing for basically not sticking to the source material. But anyway, let me know what you think down in the comments below. I'd love to chat it up with you guys. As always, be sure to like, subscribe, and click the bell so you don't miss as we continue to fight evil.